past Wednesday was a great day in Augusta, with the L. Craig Committee voting to pass LD 673, an act to support the reinstatement of the tip credit, sponsored by Republican Representative Stacey Guerin. The two individuals who did not support this LD were Democratic Senator Shenna Bellows from Manchester and Democratic Representative Michael Sylvester from Portland. The Portland Press-Herald and the Bangor Daily News are continuing to use special interest-driven terminology when referring to the reinstatement of the tip credit. Words like sub-minimum wage. That is a special interest-driven term and is not actually a thing. All bartenders and servers are guaranteed to make the state's minimum wage should they not make that amount during their shift. A perfect example of this loose grasp on what the tip credit actually is the Bangor Daily News' recent headline, "Bill would restore lower minimum wage for Maine tipped workers." Actually, Chris Cousins, we like to call that reinstating the tip credit. This past Wednesday, the Maine People's Alliance held a demonstration outside of Congressman Poliquin's Bangor office with the simple intent to disrupt and to prevent the staffers from performing their duties to help out the people of Maine's 2nd Congressional District.
Poliquin has got to go! Hey, hey! Exactly. Poliquin has got to go! Hey, hey! Poliquin has got to go!
After chanting outside for a few minutes, the protesters crammed into the lobby with pink slips in their hands, meant to represent the views that Representative Poliquin's constituents had on his AHCA vote. The interesting thing, though, is that if you look at the slips that are being featured in this WABI video, those voters aren't from Congressman Poliquin's district. In fact, about half of these pink slips weren't from Congressman Poliquin's district. Furthermore, the Maine People's Alliance continues this rhetoric that they are peaceful, concerned citizens, but take a look at what these events actually entail.
People that we wouldn't have to be here, but Poliquin is not serving the people, and that is why we're here. And I don't need to listen to you because you're just a flack.
These protesters are loud, they are aggressive, and they're unwilling to have a polite conversation and talk about some of the actual facts behind the AHCA.
Thank you. Ma'am, I have a right to free speech too. I have a right to free speech as well. I have a right to free speech. Who believes in the First Amendment? Who believes in the First Amendment? Who believes in free speech? Anybody but me believe in free speech in this building? Who believes in free speech? I'm just asking who believes in free speech. You all got to say your word on the sidewalk. This lady doesn't want me to be allowed to speak.
Furthermore, they were complaining to the press that Poliquin's staffers were not accepting slips and that they were throwing them onto the ground. But we have a Maine People's Alliance organizer on video telling these demonstrators to throw their slips into the office onto the ground.
Yeah, just drop them on the floor. One time, just drop them on the floor. Yeah, just drop them on the floor. One time, just drop them on the floor. Yeah, just drop them on the floor. One time, just drop them on the floor. Yeah, just drop them on the floor. One time, just drop them on the floor. Yeah, just drop them on the floor. One time, just drop them on the floor.
These offices have real and important tasks that they perform every day. Having events like this ridiculous charade, takes away their time and it clogs up their phone lines and it uses valuable taxpayer resources. These people need to help constituents of Congressman Poliquin. These are people who have real problems and those staffers work every day to help them. We need to cut this stuff out, you guys. This past week, House Speaker SARA GIDEON introduced a bill to expand welfare. She named this bill LIFT because RISE was already taken. The Democrats claim that there is $150 million unallocated dollars just sitting around and waiting to be spent. This, however, is not true. DHHS says that it plans to use this money for a range of new programs and services, that the year-end TANF balance in 2022 would be down to about $4.6 million. Welfare reform under the LePage administration is working for Maine. These individuals are getting off of welfare and they're staying off of welfare. And what's more is that they are successful off of welfare. We do not need to increase welfare dependency in this state. What we need to do is we need to promote self-sufficiency. We thought we were past this, but it would appear that the trend of liberal censorship of conservative ideas on campus has finally arrived in Maine. In an interview with the Free Press, USM President Glenn Cummings said, "I am not sure I protected the people I was meant to protect. Larry Lockman was given a microphone to spread hate speech against people I'm paid to and want to protect. If we have another conservative speaker at USM, we won't have them up there alone spewing their hate. We'll have them debating the dean of the law school. There are ways to limit their microphones." This article continued to say that President Cummings proposed that the Senate work with him to create a policy that would determine who can and cannot come to speak. Now, President Cummings offered clarification to these comments in the student online paper. He said in his clarification, "Dear Free Press, thank you for your May 1st story that included my reflections as student government on USM's experience this year attempting to balance our issues of freedom of speech, allowing controversial speakers onto our campus, and addressing student concerns about their safety. I would like to clarify one statement in your story. I do not mean in any way to equate Larry Lockman's extreme comments on some issues in the past with the traditional conservative perspective or viewpoint. What I had hoped to convey is that going forward, we will be more thoughtful in how we accommodate speakers on either side of the political spectrum. All nonviolent views, conservative, liberal, independent, and others, are welcome here. You tell us if you think that this is truly a clarification."
Back to Folk. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
We have very exciting news for you from Maine GOP. 2004 World Series hero, partaking in the breaking of the curse, Curt Schilling will be our special guest at our chairman's reception on May 31st. Tickets are $100 per person or $175 for a pair. Proceeds will go towards helping elect Republicans and laying the groundwork for a successful 2018. To go get tickets for yourself or friends or family, go to mainegop.com/reception. We hope to see you there. Thank you for watching this episode of News You Can Trust. Be sure to share it with your friends on social media. For more videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you'd like to see more information on what we're doing at the party, go to mainegop.com. We know we're not reporters, but you can trust us.